You look up when you hear them. You can't help but wonder where and why it flies. Because deep down, near your heart, either in whole or in part, you are an aviator.
Hit it! That's what I'm talking about.
Wait!
Okay, now, from the beginning.
Let's get it, boys.
Are you ready?
One, down the center with the one, the other one, get back in, one, down to you, get to the other one, 1, 7, out, 8, give it, give it, 1, 8, back down to the center, stop it!
Join on the corner where the big boys play.
450, now 75, we get 75, come back in, 75, we get 75, you have 470.
Not all aircraft are corporate jets, airliners, or pleasure craft flown by weekend warriors. Some aircraft have a deeper purpose, a reason they exist. These aircraft are designed to serve humanity, to save lives, to protect property, and have a deeper meaning in our mind's eye. Safety, comfort, hope, mercy. These aircraft, the special few, are the tools of the first responder. They are the workhorses designed to perform in unthinkable circumstances, undaunted, fearless of dark clouds rolling on the horizon, through the smoke, through the fire, over the water. When needed most, these aircraft are the magic wand of hope wielded by the brave few who hear the call. No matter the shadows, across the plains, in the mountains, and over the seas, through the clouds, or riding a clear night sky, they are the tools of the willing, our first responders serving humanity, saving one or more at a time. Assent Aeronautics dedicates this episode of Straight and Level to all the brave men and women working in the emergency medical industry. Today on Straight and Level, we share a few purpose-built aircraft operated by first responders and flown in service of others. One organization that flies several of these special aircraft is CareFlight. CareFlight, a nonprofit founded in 1979, is based in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex and is comprised of over 650 individuals, all dedicated to making precious minutes count. Having grown to serve the entire North Texas region, CareFlight has transported over 1.2 million patients in the past 41 years. How many sorties do you think you've flown in 7.5 years, right?
Average base flies at least once a day. 5 years on the line at CareFlight, 180 shifts a year, one patient per shift. Call it 900, give or take.
900, give or take, sorties, saving lives in one of these? That's not a bad gig. I'm Halsey Smith, and today I'm here with Assistant Chief Pilot of CareFlight, Ryan Opel, who also taught me how to fly helicopters over 16 years ago today. Today, we're gonna learn a little bit more about what he does in his daily job and about this aircraft, Bell 407, and how it's used to save lives. Ryan, show us what you got with this aircraft.
Bell 407 is Bell's single-engine light utility helicopter. We've got it in somewhat of a hybrid configuration today. Typically, this aircraft is configured for one patient transport. We normally have a sled right here that puts the patient's head right here in the lap of either the medic or the nurse. Patient's feet would typically extend into the co-pilot seat on the front left side. We've got medical equipment for the crews to provide critical care to the patient, IV pumps, cardiac monitors, intubation capabilities, automatic defibrillation devices, everything that the crew needs to maintain the life support of the patient until we can get them to the destination. Bell 407 GX comes with a full G1000H avionics suite produced by Garmin. Includes 2 full-screen multifunction displays, gives us all engine, avionics, aircraft systems monitoring, as well as a full moving map capability. Capable of doing any instrument approach, LPV, ILS, LNAV. We've got additional avionics as well with the radio systems in here. Allows us to talk to ground command, hospitals, scene command. We've got satellite tracking on this aircraft, tied into a satellite phone for communications with our comm center anywhere in the continental United States. Autopilot on this aircraft allows the pilot to maintain heading, altitude, follow a pre-programmed GPS flight plan. Truly is state-of-the-art avionics. For this evening, we've got a new CareFlight pilot in training. So we've removed the stretcher where the patient's feet would normally be in this co-pilot seat. We've reinstalled the co-pilot seat, additional set of controls for the instructor, and this allows us to train a pilot who's new to this airframe while still having the ability for the instructor to take controls as necessary. The closest I've had to a true emergency in a helicopter, these aircraft have what are called chip detectors in the engine, transmission casing, and tail rotor casing. If there's enough metal in the transmission casing or in the flow of the oil to complete a circuit, we get a light in the cockpit that says, hey, something in your aircraft is making metal. I was patient loaded over 635 and 75 when I got a transmission chip leg. I know Bell tests these transmissions without oil, but it's a whole different story when you're patient loaded 5 miles from an airport and you've got to make a decision whether you're going to land somewhere in the middle of North Dallas or if you're going to divert to Love Field where you can land at an airport and rendezvous with a hospital. It was the most nervous 2 minutes of my life.
So Brian, I've known you for a lot of years. What makes flying EMS so special for you?
The obvious answer is you're using skills that you've honed throughout your life to make a difference in the community. You're helping people who need critical care to get to a higher level of definitive care as quick as they can with the highest level of care. Not only are our pilots well trained, our medical people are the highest level of medical professionals that operate in this environment. That's the obvious answer. The selfish answer is I get to fly the best equipment that there is out there. I get to work with the best people. I get to use the skills that I've honed throughout my career every day. Every day I learn something new. Every day I perfect a maneuver a little bit better. Every day I get to teach a new guy something new. So it's the best of both worlds. I get to maintain my level of professionalism and proficiency. I get to pass that on to new guys that are coming up behind me.
This guy is training these pilots, passing on the skills that he knows, that he's learned over 15 years. Ryan, I can't thank you enough for your service. Really appreciate everything you do.
Also, thank you very much.
On the plains of northwest Texas, in the small town of Olney, an employee-owned company marries state-of-the-art technology, precision, and artisan craftsmanship to build one of the most advanced aerial firefighting aircraft ever produced, the Air Tractor 802 Fireboss. Join us for our next episode of Straight and Level as we visit Air Tractor, meet the employee owners, and see how this monster is built.
Asking 375, but I get 375, people I'm at 375, and 400,000 just came in. 575 they did, now 600, 650 currently top bid, asking 675, 700 just came in. We have just sold the 2007 EC120B. Congrats to our buyers and sellers. Great work from our sales team. Got it moved on the auction block today. It is sold.
Straight and Level is brought to you by Assent Aeronautics, the world's largest live aircraft auction house. Jet Aviation, global FBO partner, Aero Brigham, technical representative and partner of Assent Aeronautics. AvBuyer, the global platform for buying and selling business and private aircraft.
I'm Halsey Smith, and this is David Brigham, and we're here in Olney, Texas, doing a pre-block walk on this Air Tractor 802F Fireboss. David, what makes this aircraft so special?
It's not just a crop duster, it's not a pleasure airplane. This airplane has a mission, it's a lifesaver. It's not only saving forests, it's not only saving homes, it's saving human lives, animal lives. The airplane goes to work and it just does an amazing job of taking fires out. One of its special roles is not necessarily attacking the big fires, but attacking the small fires, the spot fires before they get big. And that's where this aircraft really, really shines.
You know, it's amazing, David. I was watching a little bit of footage on this aircraft, and with swarm flying, this single engine air tanker can put more water on a fire than some of the larger aircraft that they typically use for firefighting.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking to some of the folks at Dauntless Air, we take care of a lot of their aircraft. One of the fires they were on last year, and they had 3 aircraft flying. So essentially, every time they flew a sortie, they were carrying 2,400 gallons of water to the fire. And about the only other aircraft that could effectively do that would be a Chinook, which will carry 3,000 gallons. And then a super tanker, they'll carry more, but then they're an hour, 2 hours away. And the air tractors are right there on scene.
If you think about it, single engine air tanker costing thousands of dollars an hour to fly, or a multi-engine helicopter or a super tanker costing tens of thousands of dollars an hour to fly.
Yeah, it's such a difference.
I think the single engine air tractor is probably the winner. Let's take a look.
This is a Dash 67F engine. The airplane's normal configuration on the tail dragger landing gear, the engine's output is 1,450 shaft horsepower. When the aircraft gets put on these floats by whip line, part of their STC increases the output to 1,700 horsepower.
1,700 horsepower in a single engine fire bomber, that's unheard of, David.
It gives it just crazy amounts of power so they can get all that weight off the water.
David, why is this aircraft equipped with dual main landing gear?
So not only do they scoop water, but they also have the capability to fill the hopper with retardant on the ground. So they can land at an airport, they can fill the aircraft up with fuel or retardant and take off at max gross weight. With the new gates and the new reporting systems connected to the GPS, they can program this gate system to dump, if they wanted to, 20 gallons at a time on little hot spots here and there, or 100 gallons at a time, or they can do the whole 800 gallons at once.
So basically this aircraft can fight small campfires as well as huge wildfires as well?
It sure can, yeah. It's got super capability. This aircraft is really well equipped with avionics. It's got a brand new GTN 750 Garmin radio stack, a second comm radio. It's already got the Forest Service TDFM 136B in it. Good transponder, I believe it's a GTX 345. It's got MVP 50, which is the engine monitoring system. And then it's got the fire gate control over here from Trotter. This aircraft's ready to go to work. It's ready to be carted for Forest Service and go do its job. This thing's just amazing.
So this aircraft can fly from California to Hawaii. How does it do that?
So what they'll do with this, when they get ready to ferry the aircraft to Hawaii or even Australia for fires, they'll take the floats off of the aircraft, put the standard landing gear back on, and then they plumb the hopper, which holds 820 gallons, into the fuel system. So then the aircraft has enough fuel to fly nonstop from California all the way to Hawaii.
When your life's on the line fighting forest fires, this is the way you want your aircraft constructed. Built by Air Tractor, an employee-owned company right here in Olney, Texas. This aircraft should be yours. Join us on May 20th at the Assent Live private aircraft auction, where David and I will see this sucker across the block.
Straight and Level is presented by Assent Aeronautics, the world's largest live private aircraft auction house. Global FBO partner Jet Aviation, Aero Brigham, approved technical representative and partner of Assent Aeronautics. AvBuyer, the global platform for buying and selling business and private aircraft.
My name is Camille Conley. I am a flight nurse with CareFlight. This helicopter is the helicopter that I work in.
My name is Larry Brown. This will be I'm starting my 15th year at CareFlight. December will be my 15th anniversary.
I wanted to be able to take care of the sickest patients, and I wanted to be able to do things that you can't do in a hospital, like land on the side of a road or pick patients up that are in a big ICU and find a way to get them into a tiny little helicopter and get them to where they need to be.
My dad was a medic in 1977, and so from that point forward, from being a child, I've always wanted to be a paramedic.
We do have medical control and we can call them, but most of the time you're relying on what you know from your history and your education and your partner. We work off each other. We have protocols that we work from.
Anytime we're flying in the air with a patient or not, we need to be on our A game because, I mean, there's not a moment to lose in complacency.
99% of the time, it's a very time-sensitive situation, so it is a sense of relief when we get them to the OR or to the cath lab or to wherever they need to be. Not because I want to get rid of them, but because they're here, they're alive, and we've done our job.
We have to be alert, have situational awareness, be cognizant of our, airspace around us, other aircraft or objects. Our communications with one another is professional. In that aircraft, it is definitely all business. There are times for levity, grant you. There are times that you can make a patient smile because maybe they say something and you can come back with a funny quip that is appropriate for that situation, and it brings a smile to their face.
I don't consider myself a hero, no. I just consider myself doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I really give props for police officers. I mean, just putting on that vest and going to work and having to do all the things that they have to do and deal with the stigma of their job. Those are my heroes.
But it's the anticipation of not really knowing what the day will hold for us, because you can't predict, with any reasonable certainty that, what we're going to see or do.
I don't feel burnt out in my job. I feel like I'm taking care of people and doing something that's really unique that most people don't get to do. Definitely if it's a call that stands out to me or something that where I'm not really sure how the outcome is going to be, I try to follow up. It's nice to be able to see when people make a full recovery and we think, oh gosh, I don't think they're going to make it, and then they end up walking out of the hospital a couple weeks later.
When we arrive at a scene or in a facility, the way that we approach the human element of what we're facing is what I like to do is think of that individual as a member of my own family. This individual, this patient, their friends and family and extended family, their co-workers, the people who depend on them are depending on me to help them. So to take the robotic roteness out of the approach, that for me, that's how I do it. That this is someone's brother, sister, husband, wife, son or daughter.
Straight and Level is brought to you by Assent Aeronautics, the world's largest live aircraft auction house, Conklin & Detectors, industry leader in aviation research, and Amstat, leading provider of researched market information on business aircraft transactions and ownership.
Woke up this morning with the sunrise in my eyes. Just like a new day, a breath of fresh air in my life. I don't know how, don't know why, but I'll be toasting all my life.
Riverside IC, Air Rescue 1, on final. You see anything you don't like, call aboard, aboard, aboard.
My name is Chris Kristofi. I'm a helicopter pilot. I fly EMS currently for search and rescue and air ambulance operations.
50 feet, landing.
A typical call, we will get alarms and tone-offs in our station. We'll respond to those by checking weather and flight conditions and environment. We'll start moving to the aircraft and hopefully be in the air on our way to a patient, approximately 8 minutes.
ETA to receiving, 12 minutes.
We're flying en route, trying to assess situation, where the LZs are, or landing zones, and what the patient condition is. And once we get overhead, we're usually in contact with ground EMS ambulance, fire services, or whatever other first responders are there.
Roger, landing. Clear down right.
Clear down left.
We're assessing the wind, weather, things like that, wires, obstructions, where we're going to land the aircraft closest to the patient that's still safe for the aircraft to land. We're landing in some precarious situations sometimes. We end up on the side of a mountain, somebody's backyard, on the side of a freeway. It changes from day to day, from call to call. Once we land on that scene, medical crews will jump out, respond to the patient, package the patient, and we are trying to get that patient on our aircraft and airborne within about 6 or 8 minutes.
Riverside IC, Air Rescue 1, clear the scene.
And then we are en route to a hospital, trying to get that patient to a higher level of care as quickly as possible. At that point, we want them to have a better chance of survival by getting them that higher level of care and getting them to a critical care response hospital.
Chris, how proud are you of what you do for a living?
That question's tough only because first responders don't typically like to be put into that hero spotlight, I think. I think we do our job because we enjoy it and we want to contribute positively to society in whatever way we can. And this is the niche that we found our way to do it. I have the ability to fly a helicopter, a complex aircraft. And I have the ability to take medical crews to a scene that they may not otherwise be able to get to. It is a special skill set that's utilized in a positive way. We just really like to do that and be a part of somebody's positive experience. When we show up, they're having a pretty rough day. And when we show up on scene, hopefully things are going to start to get better from them from that point on. And that makes everybody, including myself and the team, just feel better at the end of the day. It's something that we can go home and feel proud about, and we're doing something positive and we enjoy the work. And yeah.
Air Rescue 1, Riverside IC, appreciate your help.
Riverside IC, glad to be there.
To learn more about CareFlight, a nonprofit organization, or to make a donation to support their life-saving mission, please visit www.careflight.com. I'm Halsey Smith. On behalf of Assent Aeronautics and all of our partners, we extend our deep gratitude to all emergency medical responders. Thank you. Please join us next time for a new episode of Straight and Level.